But I think people would be scared. I think most employees or most individuals would be scared of their employer finding out.
That's partly.
And I think that they would be nervous about that, so therefore they don't do that. But where's a business model where an employee, I guess, or a potential person looking for a job that's trying to find a stable job can put him or herself out there so that they get noticed? So the big question is this: how are leaders like you that recognize people and technology are the backbone of the company they're building continue to make progress when they have no clear idea on how to develop individuals and utilize technology in a way that helps them remain profitable? That is the question, and this podcast will give you the answers. This is Tom and Michaela, and welcome to the Heart and Hustle Podcast.
Can you hear that?
Are you chewing on something?
Yeah. And peppermint chocolate.
That makes noise.
I don't know. That's why I asked if you could hear it.
Yeah, I can, but I didn't think chocolate made noise.
The peppermint in the chocolate does.
Oh, got it. Crunchy?
Crunchy.
Got it. You know, it's kind of funny. I was looking at this thing, and when you tag a brand of tequila on your podcast, you get like immediate likes.
Really? That's surprising. It's the only way we can get likes.
Tagtequila.com, I guess.
That's pretty sad.
Anyways, how was your weekend?
It was interesting.
Family? Me too. Got to see my dad. It was his birthday. I'm recording now. Do you know that?
Thanksgiving, birthdays, stuff.
Yeah, lots of stuff.
Lots
Family.
of stuff.
Ex-spouses. That too.
10 children.
10 children.
It's never a dull moment.
No.
Yeah. We got a couple trees up this year so far.
Well, we got 3 of the 4. Did we get all 4 up?
1, 2, 3. 3.
Where's the 4th one go?
Well, we were going to put one in the tech room, but we kind of got to figure that out.
Well, no, wait, stop. We have one in the house.
One in the house.
One in the basement.
One in the basement.
One in the nest.
One in the nest.
And one at work. We have 4.
One at work. But we were going to put one in the tech room.
That was 5?
Yeah.
Shit. No more trees. Because that means we got to take them down on December 26th.
Well, the one in the basement we never take down.
No. We just burn the lights out after a year.
It happens.
It happens.
Yeah.
You know, I'm just going to jump into this tonight because I read something this weekend, and it I'm not sure what it did to me. It made me mad.
Really?
I think you may or may not know where I'm going with this, but it's something we've been meaning to talk about on this podcast, I think, for a long time.
Okay.
And I think you're probably nervous.
Probably. Always.
You know, so I get this email this weekend over like executive search something for Indeed.
Indeed.
And it was like, it's just like a crack, you know? It's just this crock of stuff. Like, how can a company like Indeed be so much on the employer's side, but yet be so much against the employer and for the quote-unquote potential employee or the headhunter, the meat market? So it's like, in one aspect, in my feed, in my email, I'm getting Indeed pitching me, hey, apply for a job.
Yep.
Do this, do this, do this.
Yep.
And then literally the same day, another email coming in, recruit new people, find new... Burped again.
Money, 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 money.
And I don't get it. I don't like it. I don't know what it is about that company, but I honestly think they need to have a lawsuit filed against them.
No, I'm very disappointed.
I'm very disappointed
Indeed in how they do things.
They do crappy work. They do crappy business. They prey on people.
They prey on employers.
I mean, you remember the old cliche van of like the 1980s where they had this white van that says free candy, and it attracts these like young little boys and girls to run up to the van, and there's like some sort of like killer inside there or some sort of like, you know, kidnapper.
Yeah.
It's like what I think Indeed is.
It's kind of how it feels to the employer anyway. I'm not sure how it feels into the employee, but...
Well, the employee likes it because they like the candy.
They like the candy.
And most
candy's good.
Yeah, most employers are out there saying, "Hey, I need a company to kind of attract people. So let's call Indeed and get the white candy van out and have them go attract these people."
The problem is Indeed is still number one search for jobs today, and that's why we are still using it. But it's kind of a crock.
I think they just really hacked Google. I think they really hacked SEO. I think they're really good at the SEO game, and they kind of just floated to the top.
That could be. But it doesn't matter how much money the employer throws at Indeed. You get the same, crap applicants over and over and over again. It's like, I don't know what you're putting money towards because it's not helping you get any more or better qualified candidates than you would not paying for it.
No, so I agree. I mean, what can we do against it? Like, I often thought, like, should there be a job board for potential employees or people that want to find a really good job in career, kind of like a Craigslist for jobs, and they're out there pitching themselves. But I think people would be scared. I think most employees or most individuals would be scared of their employer finding out.
That's partly.
And I think that they would be nervous about that, so therefore they don't do that. But where's a business model where an employee, I guess, or a potential person looking for a job that's trying to find a stable job can put him or herself out there so that they get noticed?
Yeah. I think LinkedIn kind of, sort of, ish does that. But the problem is, employers and employees are on LinkedIn, and it's, talk about a meat market. Like, LinkedIn is meat market of all meat markets. Like, the only thing I get on there of hits of salespeople after salespeople after salespeople after salespeople, and it's just like, it's exhausting all day long.
I've seen the scripts, like these professional sales folks use on LinkedIn, and I've actually seen the scripts that they use, and it's like on day 1, send out the general email, day 3, then day 7, and then day 8, and then follow up, and then probably by day 15 or so, they're reacting and saying such a way that, like, oh, you haven't reached out to me. But then even some of them are getting coy, like they're getting like mean and very direct.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And it's just like, well, you aren't going to do business with me. It's like, well, I never asked to do business with you in the first place.
Right. All of a sudden, they're in your email, and they're like, why aren't you responding to me? I never reached out to you. I have no interest in you whatsoever, so why are you banging down my door?
Yeah. And then it's like, I get one, well, the force must not be strong with you. Some, like, Jedi quote or something. And I'm like, who is this doofus?
Yeah, it's super annoying.
So I don't know, man. I saw that, and then you always have the reviews, and I kid you not. I mean, every review out there for Indeed. I mean, I don't want to even bring this up, even with us, but most of them out there, we've had a past employee or employees may leave in a flaming ball of glory because their feelings were hurt because of whatever. Or
they sucked at the job.
Largely, they sucked at their job, and they were better off probably moving on to a different place. But then we've had people like create multiple accounts. Like they'll create like 2 or 3 false accounts just to leave a negative review to kind of help build themselves up. And Indeed, and especially Glassdoor, I'm not sure who ties for the number 1 shit list, Indeed or Glassdoor. And if you work for Indeed or Glassdoor, reach out to me because we got to have a little bit of a conversation. But at the end of the day, it's like both of them are just crap.
They're not good.
And I think Glassdoor really is the one that needs to go away.
Glassdoor is not good.
It's not.
It's not fair at all. It's not a fair representation.
No.
At all.
At all. I can say that I work for, Barb's Boutique flower consignment place in, Gehring, Nebraska. That's a place. And I can say I work there. If that place even exists, I doubt that it does. I've completely made it up. And I can leave as an employee a bad review. Mm-hmm. And it's going to be stuck to that person forever. Mm-hmm. And I personally know people that leave bad reviews for places that they don't even work because they want to stick it to the man or stick it to somebody else because they want to be that jerk because they made them mad.
Yeah. Not cool.
No.
Like, what is happening in our society where you have to stoop to that level?
I don't know.
What's going on?
I don't know. I think it's mean. I think it's disgusting. And I mean, like, you always look at it, and mostly times it's the negatives that are coming out. I mean, yes, there's some positives, but most
very rarely.
But most employees or most current employees inside of organizations and or companies, if they're happy with their position, they're happy with their job, or if they're not happy, they typically don't comment or leave a review. They just kind of go on.
Do their thing, yeah.
Yeah, and I've been inside companies where the management and leadership asks, like, if you feel compelled, please leave us a positive review on Indeed so we can recruit more people. And it's just like they're almost asking the folks to leave positive reviews. I think there's some, do you agree with that?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it happens. It happens all the time. We've asked our employees to do it just to combat the negative reviews, but it's like if people don't have anything outwardly negative to say, it's like, we got better things to do.
Yeah.
We got our jobs to do.
Yeah.
Let's focus on that.
I mean, it was like, I'm very open, and obviously I can't be open enough on this podcast to say names, but, I had to fire a person because he was trying to download passwords and credentials and everything else from our systems to try to start his own thing. And after the conversation, I had to fire the person. I mean, it violated our terms and conditions. And guess what? 3 days later, boom, negative review.
Yeah.
We had to let another person go due to insubordination, gross negligence. I mean, horrible, horrible things, and coming in drunk to work. And guess what?
Boom.
Negative review.
Negative review.
And by the way, I'm going to create a false account to leave another negative review.
And it's not like the employer can lay out there what actually happened, because then that's a violation of that employee's rights. And so the employer is screwed either way.
Yeah. And you become the old 1.8 star rating.
Yeah. And I think, we talk about responding to those reviews often, and we do a little bit to the extent that we can. But if we were to respond to the reviews in a way in which we laid out what actually went down and what has actually taken place,
we get in trouble.
Yeah. There's a whole nother issue when it comes to...
you know this. Can someone file a lawsuit against a former employer?
Yeah.
Because they retaliate on what actually happened?
Potentially.
Yeah.
I mean, anybody can sue anybody for anything anymore. So
we had an employee once. This is going to turn into employee stories. We cannot name names.
Let's just not go there.
No, let's go there.
No, let's not go there, because what were we just talking about?
No, we can't name names. And no, I will not mention his or her name. But I think it's funny. Ring, ring. Oh, hi, hun. Oh, yes. Oh, you mean the landlord's coming over to inspect the apartment? Oh, and you want me to come home and clean the apartment real quick, even though it's 10 o'clock in the morning, I'm at work? Yeah, well, I'm at work. Oh no, you're right, hon. I understand. I got to go. Okay. 1 second. Okay, I'll be home in a minute. Bye. Hey, boss man, I have to go home because my spouse is mad at me because I have to go home and clean the apartment and bathe the kid because we have a landlord coming over. Great. Do you think your spouse can help out with that? It's 10 o'clock in the morning. We're super busy. Not that I'm saying anything bad, but I know she does not work outside the home. She's a full-time mother right now. Do you think she can kind of have your back so we can kind of get through this? No, I'll get in trouble. I just got to go. Bye.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Hey, team. We just lost one. And no, we don't fire the guy over that.
No, we don't.
But, the excuses, I think we've heard them all.
It's been interesting.
Yeah.
That's where, the whole work-life balance and self-managed time off comes into play. Those conversations are fun.
Yeah, self-managed time off for the people that don't know what that is. Basically, we're one of the companies that have unlimited PTO.
It's not unlimited. Self-managed-ish.
Well, we call it self-managed, but
yeah.
I think it's really unlimited PTO. But we do that on the premise of hey, listen, you give a little, get a little. It's more of, I shouldn't even say that. Is that really the right term? We believe that human beings are adults, and the people that work with us are for adults, and they can manage their time off accordingly. And if they have, if the team has their back and they can get things done, then absolutely no problem. But, someone requesting a day off 3 hours before that because of the apartment's dirty.
Yeah.
it's probably not your best interest of doing that.
Right. Most of our team members handle it responsibly.
I think they all do for the most part. I don't think that there's none of them that don't handle it responsibly. I think they're honestly trying to think through the process.
Sure. Yep.
But things do come up. Mm-hmm. I mean, and we can't stop. I mean, things come up in our lives.
Sure.
I mean, can't think of anything recent. But when's the last time you took off work? I mean, like really took off work. Like took off work and didn't think about work.
Does that exist in our world?
It doesn't exist in my world, but I'm just asking you, like you took off work and just don't think about it. Has there been a time in the past 2 years, 3 years?
I woke up dreaming last night about everything I have to get done this week. So
did you get anything done?
I did. I got a little bit done tonight.
Oh, got it.
A little bit. Not as much as I would have liked, but a little bit. I think it's different when you're employee versus when you're an entrepreneur. I mean, that's why some people choose not to become entrepreneurs, because they don't want that burden. Because it is a burden.
Yeah, but I think that's where you and I disagree. People don't choose to become entrepreneurs. I think they're just born with certain qualities or
I wouldn't disagree with that.
Chemicals.
I don't think we differ in that. I think there's just some people make a conscious choice not to become entrepreneurs
I agree with
for that reason.
I agree with that. I think you can be, I think there's a lot of really good basketball players out there that are really, really good that could probably be professional, but they're just lazy. They just don't want to put in the time.
Or they have other things that are more important to them.
I agree.
I mean, I think it's a difference in not necessarily being lazy, but a difference in priorities and what's important to them.
I agree with that.
So.
Yeah, I don't know. For me, I don't know. It's weird. I think there's days where, obviously you don't feel like putting in your full effort, but I always do and more. So I don't really know what my full effort is anymore, because you're always going 122 miles an hour. So for me to back off and feel like I'm going like 100 miles an hour, I feel like I'm like actually slacking.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
So it's like you feel guilty stopping for lunch.
Yeah.
And I don't stop for lunch.
So talk to me about this one. I didn't read it because I chose not to, but I was kind of perusing LinkedIn this afternoon, and I came across an article about hustling. Okay. We have this whole thing, we like named one of our companies after hustling, Heart and Hustle, right?
Yep.
And the hashtag on this article that somebody had shared was "Stop the whole hustle culture" or something like that.
I get it.
What are your thoughts on that?
That's hard to explain. I mean, I think the hustle culture exists. I think that people they feel that they have to be a certain way, that they have this pressure behind them to hustle because someone is, not making them, but maybe making them feel guilty because they're not hustling. But I honestly think that.
So what does hustle mean to you?
Hustle doesn't mean anything to me except for just progress. It's just pure progress. And no matter what you do or no matter what I do, whether it's personal or professional, there's always progress. I mean, it's really difficult for me to sit down and just do nothing. And even though you may see me at times flipping through TikTok or flipping through, Reels or whatever, it's not necessarily just killing time and just doing nothing. It's like I'm looking at the edits. I'm looking at, different ideas for content maybe, or I'm actually just absorbing the information. It's just not like pastime.
So what I'm asking is, so hustle culture today means waking up at 5 and working, 16 hours a day and breathing, sleeping work, and continually making that progress and establishing your habits and just focus and hustle. What does it mean to you?
But I can't answer that because I think the people that try to do that are actually trying to do that. For me, I don't know that I'm trying to do that. I'm just living that. It's like.
So what is hustle versus?
The first thing that comes to my mind is not the most politically correct thing in my mind. So I don't know if I can actually say it on camera because it'll come out complete like I'm puking over everything. But it'd be like the same thing. Like, tell me what it's like to be white, or to be black, or to be Asian American, or whatever it is. I don't know. I just live this way. So for me, hustle culture doesn't exist. Because
hustle culture is not a thing. It's just who you are.
It's part of me. It's like it's hustle culture, or I'm a white, redhead, balding, overweight, probably male. I mean, I don't know, but it's just I can't.
Well, I think that's the difference between like this facade that people are trying to live in this hustle culture thing. It's a facade that you're trying to build versus who you actually are.
It's like me grabbing a basketball right now, which I don't play basketball, and trying to say, hey, I'm going to practice every single day to to be part of the NBA or whatever it is, or right now just in an intramural Y team. But it's like there's no way for me to ever get there. But the thing is, I don't enjoy playing basketball either.
Yeah.
So it's like I could admire people like The Rock and his muscles and the way that he is, but I'll never be that person. So it's like I'm not even going to try to be that person. So for me, it doesn't exist. So for
you, that hustle is it is who you are, and it is not a thing, and is not hustle culture. It is not a built-in trait. It's just who you are.
Yeah, it's just who you are. It's like being female or being male. It's just who you are. And I'm not going to get into the whole gender thing, but I mean, I can't say, well, tell me what it's like to be female and tell me the difference. It's like you don't know, or what's like being male. It's like you saying right now, Tom, explain to me what it's like to stand up when you pee. And I hate to say it like that, but it's just kind of built into me. I can't say anything about it. I don't know. I just do it.
Yeah. See, that cracks me up because there's this whole, I don't know.
It's fake. It's like cancel culture. It's fake. Cancel culture is just stupid. It's about a bunch of people that want to ridicule things that they have no idea about.
Yeah.
I don't want to get into it on this podcast because I'll probably piss a lot of people off.
You probably will.
But it's like, hustle culture is not a culture. It's a way of life. And, my grandpa is, I don't know, my headset's kind of weird right now. Is yours weird?
Mine's kind of wonking out. What's happening?
I'm not sure. I think it might be like the headphones here, but my grandfather's 92 or 93. I don't know. He went to the hospital 4 times last week. He stopped breathing. It's a bad deal.
It's a bad deal.
But he's like, mend a bomb. He kind of keeps on going. And, he's on the roof the next day changing a shingle or something. Who knows? And he's always going. He just does not stop.
Mm-hmm.
He does not stop. Grandma's 90 this year. She does not stop.
All right.
My dad having some issues, getting through those. Not super good on certain days and having some issues with basic mobility. He does not stop.
It's just built into who
most people
in
most people in my dad's world, being as young as who he is, with the problems that he faces every day, would give it up.
Yeah.
They would sit in their chair all day and do nothing and watch the news. And he doesn't do that. He's stumbling around, trying to get around, holding holding to the walls, holding to a walker, holding to his car, trying to get him around to where he wants to go because he knows his destination. He has to get someplace. And he's not going to let an obstacle stop him. Grandpa stopped breathing 4 times last week. He's not going to let that stop him from doing what he wants to do or the task that he has to complete. If he has to get on the roof and look at a shingle Monday morning when it's 67 degrees outside, he's going to do it. If he has to get on a tractor on Tuesday and start pushing snow around, hope it doesn't snow, but he's going to do it. Nothing's going to stop him. So for hustle culture doesn't exist.
I think that's why I had a hard time with that whole article, and I didn't even bother to read it. Sorry, whoever posted that. But I think there's a difference between this whole hustle culture and like building this fake work hard entrepreneurship attitude and what is actually just built in you. And I think many people who are in that world right now are facing a lot of ridicule because of how they are built.
I knew kids, and I'm not going to call out Ben, who we work with, because I didn't know him growing up. But Ben loves his Trans Ams, and Victoria's going to find a picture of it. But Ben, I think, had a red Trans Am as a kid, and hopefully she can post it. But Ben loved this Trans Am. Well, Ben, I think, liked this car because it was his first car. But most people, as they think of Trans Am as these, Smokey and the Bandit, fast, big red V8, big V8s or these 6.6 liter cars out there. And I think Ben had a 6-cylinder. And I think a lot of people like to put on a facade. I don't think Ben did this, but I think a lot of people like to have a facade like, oh, I own a Trans Am, or I own a Camaro or whatever it is, or a Mustang, and they'll put all the badges on it. They'll put the 5.0 on the Mustang on the side there. And I knew kids that did this, and they actually had the 2.3 liter 4-cylinder, whatever they had back in the mid 80s, but they'd put the 5.0 badge on it. They'd make it look that way. Mm-hmm. They would dress it up. Mm-hmm. They would wear the fake Jordans because they wanted to look a certain way. And I think that's where this hustle culture is coming in, because I think these kids that want to feel like they're part of this hustle culture, they're working really hard, they're posting out to Instagram when they're going. I would love to post out more to Instagram and to social and have daily vlogs and podcasts. And I've been talking about it for a very long time and doing it. And I created content, but it's just like the time. Mm-hmm. And I don't mean it as a bad sense, but it's just I have a hard time finding the time to actually sit down and do it because I'm over here working so hard, doing my thing and, supporting family and kids and employees and their families and trying to do what we do. Right. And so when I do stop at 11:30 or midnight or 1 or 2 in the morning, compared to when I start at typically 5 o'clock in the morning, those 3 or 4 hours, I'm not bragging, I'm sleeping.
You sleep?
And so it's like, and things have got to change. It's called delegation. But at the end of the day, it's like, I think some people who are hustling, they're trying to do more showing off that they're hustling than they're actually working. There's a whole facade there. It's like slapping a 5.0 badge on a 4-cylinder Mustang. And they're okay doing that. Now, what I like is the sleeper cars.
What do you mean?
You've seen a sleeper car, haven't you?
I don't know. Tell me about it.
Like the old, like an 86 Volkswagen Rabbit that just kills it and blow away the, Chevelle or the hopped up Mustang. And it's a car that just runs down the road. It looks like it's just a normal everyday Joe. It'd be like our Jeep Liberty here running 9-second quarter miles.
I don't know, but are we going to get our Bronco soon?
I gotta hope so.
It's being built, right? We think it's built. It should be shipped in the next few days.
I think it should be shipped in the next couple days.
It's going to be exciting.
Yeah, I'm actually getting teary-eyed for it.
I know you are.
Refresh.
I keep checking that thing every 10 minutes.
Refresh. New build date. I'm very excited for it. So. Yeah. I don't know.
I think as a woman, I struggle with the same thing with the whole hustle culture or whatever you want to call it, because I feel like it doesn't matter what I do or how I handle it. I'm going to be judged for how hard I work. Either I'm not working hard enough or I'm working too hard based on other people's opinions. And
yeah, but I think there's a whole different stigma against women hustling, because I think because if women don't hustle, or if women are hustling and say they're married or have children at home, if you're hustling 24/7 and you talk about it, you're immediately neglecting your kids.
Yep, for sure.
End of
Neglect.
Story. And
Done.
if a male is hustling 24/7, it's just like, God, that guy's working hard and he must be providing and everything else. But the word of neglect is not even there.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
But a woman does it and she's not taking care of her family's needs.
Yeah, and that's wrong. And I don't think we can fix that. I mean, that's just, it's not stigma. That's just called like...
Society.
That's just
norms.
Society. Norms. But then most people go home. Call me out if it's not correct, but most people go home and they look in the other room and their kids are huddled around the iPad doing their thing, watching people play games. So,
right.
Mr. Maverick. So. Maverick, my son. Hey, Dad, hang on. I'm watching Joe, who's watching Joe play a game. So what are you actually doing? I'm watching Joe that actually is watching this. Ain't never guy named Joe. Okay, dude.
Yeah, that's actually a thing.
Yeah.
People watching people play games.
Yeah, I think that's fine. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. I mean, it is what it is. It's entertainment, but then you try to get them to go outside and there's like nothing there. Hey, let's go to a movie. What's that? A movie? A theater?
Yeah. Wait till VR continues to evolve.
Yeah. I don't know, man.
Well, yeah. So hustle culture. It's an interesting thing right now.
I do think we need to do something against Indeed, though.
Like what?
I don't know, man. We need to come up with a different website, a different something of just exposing.
You know, I've tried others. They're expensive. They're no more effective. I think everybody's just struggling right now trying to find good employees.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but it's a struggle, and employers, we feel for you because we're going through the same thing.
What's the video we saw the other day? Okay, we...
Are you breathing? You have a pulse.
We got a pulse,
yeah, when
okay.
can you start? Couple weeks. Okay,
Here.
You're hired.
Breathe on this.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yes, there's actually a pulse.
Yeah. Yeah, that was funny.
Yeah.
That's about right, though.
Sad, but true.
Yeah. Anyways. I'm glad we don't stoop as low as those. Not in the past few years.
Okay. No, probably not.
No, I would honestly say no way.
We have a good team.
Daniel, new to our team, hired at the Doug DeMero. Done. He knows Doug DeMero.
That was super funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, quirks and features, Doug DeMero, you're hired, I guess. I don't know. Still looking for an AA run.
Don't know if you can actually do the job, but you know Doug DeMero, so you're hired.
No, honestly, Daniel can
Yes.
Daniel can definitely hack it.
For sure.
He's a good kid. He's a good guy. I shouldn't say kid, but he's a good gentleman.
Yeah, I'm excited about it.
I am too. So, all right. Well, I think we're going to wrap it up. At least I am. I need to go inside and get my pen out and figure out what I'm going to do against Indeed and Glassdoor this week.
Okay. Come up with a plan of attack.
Maybe we just fly out there and knock on the door.
We could. Isn't Indeed in Utah?
You think Glassdoor actually has a Glassdoor?
No. They're like locked down, I'm sure.
Yeah, you can't get to them.
You can't get to them.
We actually did file a lawsuit against them. Actually, we hired external counsel to get something removed.
Yeah.
We spent what, $8,000 or $7,000. We spent like $7,000.
Too much money to have something frivolous and ridiculous removed.
Yeah, and
not fair.
It was kind of funny because that person posted only 3 different accounts.
Yeah.
3 different times.
But it's all legit. People have the freedom to do and say what they want to say.
No.
Okay.
Maybe what we should do is create a website that reviews employees.
Yeah. Get our asses sued.
But it's just anonymous. Like, reviewyouremployee.com.
Doesn't work the same way.
I know, but it's completely anonymous.
Not the same thing.
Probably not a good deal either.
No. Unfortunately, employers don't have the same rights that employees do right now. So.
Yeah, I don't think they ever will.
Probably not.
Trains are coming. All right. Let's take off. Let me know your comments. Have you guys had bad experiences with Glassdoor or Indeed? Let me know. I'll get like some sort of petition cause thing going. We'll do some sort of million-man march on Indeed's door.
There you go. You know, because there aren't bigger issues in the world to fight right now. That's okay. Signing off.
You know the new Omicron? Is it Omicron? Of the new virus?
Oh, I don't even know. What are we on? Like number 4 of the variant?
No, it was like Omicron or whatever. It was the new variant that came out. I can't pronounce it. But if you scramble all the letters, it says moronic. There you go.
Coincidence?
No. All right, everybody. Take care and have a wonderful week. And hopefully we're not in jail next time. Catch you later.